Welcome to The Modern Lady, where you'll learn how to elevate your life with elegance. I'm Deborah. If you're new to my channel, please hit that red subscribe button so that you can get an update when I've got a new video to share. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you, ladies, so much for your continued love and support for my channel. I appreciate and adore you all. Today's video is an interview, and this is an interview in a series called Pearls of Wisdom, where I shine a spotlight on elegant women that believe in the power of style and sophistication. Today's guest is none other than Nikki Moreno. She's an artist and content creator at Inspired by Nikki, and I'm so delighted to have Nikki on the channel. Hello, Nikki. Thank you so much, and welcome to The Modern Lady.
Hello, Devereaux. It is so great to be here. Thank you for having me on your channel.
You're welcome. We are just delighted to have you. So let me share with you ladies how Nikki and I connected. So as you very well know, Jennifer L. Scott and I have been connected for quite a while. She wrote the foreword for my latest book, Je Ne Sais Quoi. And Jennifer connected Nikki and I several months ago. And this is actually our first time connecting on video. So I'm really excited to share this interview with you ladies today. So, Nikki, let's go ahead and get started. Can you first tell us the story behind how Inspired by Nikki came to be what it is today?
Sure. One of the things that was really important to me to share with my audience was just how pretty much God plays a role in my life and in all of our lives. And I just wanted to share that through really life and just all the different things that we can do within our lives and just hoping that that would inspire people to see without it being so much about preaching but rather example.
I love that. And being able to share those examples really helps people fully understand how to put into place and really practice biblical principles. I think that the interesting thing about etiquette is so many different facets of etiquette are really just simply taken from the Bible. And so it's a great way to make it a practical guide for just applying biblical principles to our everyday lives.
Right, I agree.
So, Nikki, I know on your channel you talk a lot about being ladylike. Can you share with us why do you think being ladylike is so very important?
Yes, I think that there are so many things that go into being ladylike. And while a lot of times we look outwardly at what that looks like, maybe with our appearance or, such as the way that we dress, the way we do our hair, stuff along those lines, I think that it runs much deeper than that. And as we were speaking about before, about, just biblical principles and things that we can take from God's word, that a lot of that has to do with being ladylike. So when you look into, just different things such as the hospitality that you have for other people, your kindness and loving, being more loving, speaking with wisdom, doing things out of wisdom, and just really trying to better yourself in many different areas, as well as modesty and just being a nurturer. All these different things play a role in what it looks like to be a lady or just your ladylike behavior. And I think that it's really important to pass these things on to the younger generations and other people around us to model that kind of behavior.
I agree with you, Nikki, and I think it's so important that, pardon me, women realize that being a lady is so much more than just showing up in a well dressed attire or well dressed outfit. It's really the heart and soul is how you are treating others, how you're interacting with people, how you're caring for them, and those core values and character and just the interaction that you have with others. And I think it's so beautiful when we can do that to share that as a gift, sharing that kindness and that generosity and the nurturing and the caring. And it truly is just a way of a form of love. and just being able to share love with others. So I think that's so inspiring and truly empowering for women to be able to have that in their lives and really keep it consistent. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Well, let's talk about your home a little bit. I know you talk a lot about home decor and being clean, being organized, and just being able to maintain your home. And so I absolutely love your background and where you're at in your room right now. Can you share with us what are maybe a few of your favorite home decor tips?
Um, One of the most important tips I would say is to take your time when it comes to your decor. I know that this is something that I really struggled with, and I've talked about it on my channel before about how sometimes we just really rush into things, and then once you step back, you don't really have a whole your home doesn't really reflect you as much as maybe you would like it to. And I know that that's something that I did, especially after we moved into this space and our previous home, where I just wanted to fill the house when we got there and make it feel like home. But a lot of the stuff that I used, or when we went out to buy new things, then it didn't really reflect my style as much. And I have to say that on those things that I took more of my time with, where maybe I shopped secondhand for some of them and I really loved the piece, so that's why I bought it. Those are the things that are going to stick with me throughout the years, as opposed to going into a store and just buying the first thing that I saw that maybe it out of all the things there, it was my style, but not necessarily something that will stand the test of time for what I really like. So I think taking your time is very important. And then also making sure that you use objects of interest to decorate with, meaning, not just, I think functional things are really good to decorate with too, but also things that you are interested in. So, for instance, that could be, for me, I love to paint. And so, to me, part of my decor are the paints that I have out. It's not something I'm going to tuck away because I love to do that. And I think that when you have different things out, I have like an old pair of point shoes out on my mantle. It's like those are things that kind of tell a story about you. And when someone walks around your home, they can see what kind of things you're interested in and that you love to do. And that just makes for great conversation starters, I think. And it makes you feel really comfortable with your space. So, not leaving out that a lot of times I think we want to tuck away things so that we have a really minimalistic look that's really popular right now. But I think that you know using those things that you have can be really great decor and make it your own, as opposed to just what is that you would see in a magazine, for instance.
I love that. Those cherished pieces are really not just for others when they're coming into your home as conversation starters, but they're for you to give you that sense of comfort and inspiration. And so that's a really good tip because I think, especially when I really think about a couple of conversations I had with friends that have recently traveled internationally, they're buying some amazing things, vases and different little things that can easily be a part of their decor, but they just keep them in a closet because they think it's going to be cluttering up, a mantle or a bookcase. And so those are some of the things that we can put on display to really just remind us of the special experiences we've had throughout life.
Right.
So, Nikki, can you share with us what is your favorite room in your home to decorate?
My favorite space in my home is definitely my office, which is where I am right now, my studio office. I love everything that we've done in here. My husband basically made it exactly how I wanted it, and I drew it all out. And I love the wainscoting and just so many different elements about this space. I For the longest time, I was thinking we were going to paint this whole house like the gray tone, that it's like a grayish kind of color that we have. And then I was thinking, no, I wanted to do something that, a color that really brought me joy. And so I just wanted this color in our home, or in this space right here. I also use the same color in our girls' room and then also in our bedroom. But it's like a peach, it's called Peach Rose. And it just is so relaxing to me. And just different elements in here that I have. I love the curtains and just all of it. I love everything that I chose to do with this space. And I didn't look at anything for inspiration for this space. And I think sometimes when we look for inspiration with a space, that oftentimes we can start to copy something and kind of go away from what we really love. Or inspiration is great. I'll get into that later. But I think some things we really know what we love about something, and to not have to feel like we're trying to fit into a certain mold with a certain style type or something along those lines. So I feel that this space really helps to bring out my creativity, because it's just every single thing that I love without thinking, is this styled right or something along those lines, if that makes sense.
Yes, I love that. And I was going to ask you if your wall color was like a peach tone, and so the name of the color is peach rose. That'd be like a really pretty nail color too.
Yes.
It's absolutely gorgeous. And I think our environments are so important. Sometimes we overlook them, but the space that you are in, the majority of the time, it should inspire you. It should help you to feel invigorated, and not just, bored, or just frustrated, or kind of tired. Because I think the environment that we spend our time in, it certainly does affect our mental capacity and our productivity as well.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that's amazing that your home office is your favorite room, because that's where you're getting all your work done.
Right. Well, and it's like a space that I don't really have to think about others in when they come in here, like the kids or my husband. As when you're decorating other spaces within your home, a lot of times you have to think about the other people that are going to be sharing that space with you. And so, yes, this is definitely more of a selfish space.
Yes, it's functional just for you. So, while we're on the topic of being at home, can you share with us why you like to dress at home, and maybe one tip for how women can do that themselves? I know that typically when people are at home, they're just in pajamas or an oversized sweatshirt with the hair in the scrunchie, but you definitely have talked on your channel about having a different view on that.
Yes, I definitely have a different view on that. I feel that it's really important. It starts with ourselves, I think, when it comes to our best presentation. So, the reason why you're doing something, I think that this is going to then play a role in how consistent you are about what you do. And so, I myself love to see people dressed, and I know that I feel my best when I'm dressed. And so that's something that I really don't want to wait for a special occasion for. I know that, growing up, I grew up in the church, right? And on Sundays, people wore their best, but then say come Easter or Christmas time, or Mother's Day or something, then people really got dressed up, it seemed. And I was always so much more interested, I guess, for my eyes to see how ladies chose to present themselves in these ways. And just I feel like their true style came out at those times, and it was so interesting to me. And it just really I don't know, it just made me feel good to see that. And so that's something that I wanted to consistently do. And I wanted to feel that good all the time, and for other people to feel that way when they saw me as well. And so that's something that I know, for instance, like my husband, he likes to see me put together. I mean, who doesn't like to see someone put together, right? And so that's important to me to present myself that way to him. And then also for my children. And so I don't just want to save that. I don't want to save my best self for special occasions. I think that every single day we're blessed to be living another day of life. And I just think that that's one more way that we can show our best and do our best. And I think that it goes into so many different things, such as, being more productive. I feel so much more productive. I think that when people see me, especially dressed in these kind of clothes, I've gotten a lot of questions about how do you clean in that, or different things like that. And it's just like, how why wouldn't you clean in your normal clothes? To me, I just feel that it's not hard. Especially, we have aprons if you're worried about getting anything on your clothes or stuff along those lines. And personally, I think, like, I wear dresses or skirts every day if I can. And I think they're so much more comfortable, less restricting than tight pants. So there's just a lot of different things, especially say you have to go out and about. You don't have to change later on. I just get up, get dressed for the day, and I'm ready for anything that may come my way. If I need to go run an errand or go pick up the kids, I'm just ready for the day. Later on down the day, sometimes, we start to look a little tired and stuff. I do like to also refresh my look, especially before Jorge comes home. A lot of times I like to, you know, give a little extra under eye um, care and stuff like that. Just so I I know that, once again, I feel my best when I'm looking my best. And so I do pay attention to those kind of things. And I think other people do as well. And so I just think that it's good to try your best, not just in what you wear, but in all aspects of our lives.
That's a really powerful answer. And I think that what you mentioned is quite common that people like to save for special occasions, and that extends beyond our wardrobe to also our china or glassware. And so it's just the idea of, okay, we're going to reserve the best for a few certain times, and it doesn't happen too often, but every day, every other day, we're just going to do something a little bit more casual or a little bit more grungy. And
Mhm.
so I think just living a life with daily luxuries and being able to always look your best, you're right. It helps you to always feel your best. And then you're going to be your best and share your best with others. And that's really why it's so important. It's most important for you and how you're feeling, that level of confidence, but also how you can serve and give to others. And it really does affect, it goes hand in hand. Everything affects each other. So I think that's really important. And those are some good tips. Midway through the day, do a freshen. And if you're worried about your clothing getting damaged, just put on an apron and some gloves, and you're good to go.
Well, and you also notice that, I know for myself, if I'm wearing a dress and I'm cleaning a toilet, for instance, that I'm a lot more careful. You tend to be more aware of your movements. And I think that that plays a role in being more ladylike as well. Just being very aware of your body and your movements. And so, even the way that you sit, you're wearing a dress or wearing nicer clothes, a lot of times we carry ourselves differently. And so if you make these changes, there was a time where I was wearing jeans and sweatshirts and stuff before, and um, you know I just noticed a difference in my demeanor. And so that's something that I think really does help play a role in all those things.
Definitely, definitely. When you look like a lady, you feel like a lady. And so you'll reinforce that with your actions to act and carry yourself with that level of gracefulness. That's really important. So, Nikki, can you share with us who is your favorite elegant role model?
My favorite elegant role model, especially today, is definitely Kate Middleton. I just love the way that she presents herself, and her clothing is definitely more along the lines of, just a classic look, um, something kind of vintage in some areas, which is something I'm definitely drawn to. And so I get a lot of inspiration from seeing. I think it's more along the lines of the fact that it's good to see someone else dressing like that. It just inspires me to continue on because I felt that her and I had very similar tastes even before she was a big, before I even knew about her, I would say, because she would be wearing things and I would really like her style. And I was geared more towards the clothing that she was wearing. But it's really nice to see the kind of things that she chooses to wear and the colors. I love color. And so it's great to see when she, puts on color and stuff like that because it's as far as what you see in a lot of closets today, it's a lack of color, I think. And so I just think that there's I don't know, a more interesting side of things to me when it comes to clothing when there's color to it. And, if you see my closet, you'll notice that I don't have any black because that's just a color that doesn't bring me joy. Everybody has a color or something that they don't like at all. And I would say, get rid of it. It doesn't matter what, the experts say. It's okay if you don't have a little black dress. I don't have a little black dress, and so it's just good to see someone else that emulates those kind of things.
Definitely. So when it comes to style, ladies, it's so important that you're able to do what serves you and be authentic to that. And so when Nikki's talking about, I love your answer when you're talking about the colors and just being able to make sure that your closet really reflects your personality and who you are. I have to agree with you that I love her wardrobe as well. The Duchess of Cambridge is amazing, and she just has such elegant, tasteful, conservative, feminine clothing that we really don't see as often as we used to. And so she's definitely a major style icon. So, Nikki, last question for you in the interview. Can you share with us one piece of timeless advice, or as I like to call it, one pearl of wisdom that you live by each and every day?
Yes, I think that it's always important to look for ways to be of service because I think that there are always going to be opportunities out there. And I just think that that is just going to be so much more meaningful to your life if you can find ways to be of service to others.
I love that. And it's really about having the heart for others, having the heart for people, just the level of care, consideration, courtesy that we give. That is what is so important in a life of elegance. Well, Nikki, thank you so much for being on the channel and allowing me to interview you today. It's definitely been a pleasure.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a real honor that you would ask me to be on here. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. So, Nikki, where are the best places that people can find you online?
I really only have YouTube at Inspired by Nikki, but I do have an Etsy shop where I sell paintings that my watercolors that I like to make, and that's through Etsy at Inspired by Nikki, and that's really it. I stay away from all the other stuff, so yeah.
Sure. So, ladies, the links to Nikki's website are in the description below, so you can find those there. And if you're not yet subscribing to Nikki's channel, please do check it out, Inspired by Nikki on YouTube. All those links are below in the description. Ladies, thank you so much for tuning into this video. I sure hope that you enjoyed this interview. And I have a question for you. I would love to know what has been your favorite room in your home to decorate. Share with us in a comment below, and we will keep the conversation going. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Modern Lady, and I will see you in another video. Bye.